The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation. Make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels. Operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, Summit Fire and Medical District, Arizona, on your new Pierce Fire apparatus, job number 38641. Please utilize this 5-digit job number when referencing your apparatus with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. We'll get started on a brief orientation of your new apparatus. Just a quick view here of the front bumper area. We'll start first on the winch, located in the center portion of the front bumper extension. Let's go ahead and take a look into the cover area. 2 lift and turn latch gains you access into the winch location. 15,000 maximum allowable winch rating. Moving now just to the front grille area, 2 emergency warning lights next to the Pierce logo. As we move over to the driver's side, you'll find a D-handle gains you access into hose storage location, along with a swivel discharge located on the far right-hand side. Dry deck material inside the lower compartment. As we move around to the edges, this is your electronic siren cutouts. Moving now to the edge, where you'll find an emergency warning side-facing light recessed. Back up onto the top, front water discharge, foam capable. Moving now to the actual handle to turn this valve on is located just in the cutout area behind the access. Let's move up onto the cab face, where you'll find 2 windshield wipers, highlighting here the grab handle to tilt the hood just above the Freightliner logo. As we move just up from this location, forward-facing emergency warning light, identification clearance light, and emergency light bar. Moving now to the side, turn indicator, air intake, and then also to the very far right rear portion, you'll find the 2 latches on the passenger and driver side for tilting the hood section. Michelin tires. Moving now to the A-pillar, where you'll find a flat mirror and convexed mirror. Door lock and latch combination, this is keyed. As we move to the step well area, you'll find your fuel cell housing a silver cap ultra low sulfur diesel. Right next to that, your blue cap, which is the DEF fill. On the door panel, safety and warning placard information. I'd like to point out the yellow placard indicating the date of manufacture, identification job number, gross vehicle weight rating, cold tire inflation, VIN number, all of the fluid capacities for each component, and then also fluid capacity type. Let's move now into the area of the cab. First, starting with the door panel, at the very top, you'll find mirror control for passenger and driver side. Moving into the cab area to the seat area, at the floor level is where you'll find the master battery switch located on the floor next to the seat. As we move up to the seat, you do have an air ride seat. It is adjustable via controls within the seat area on the side and front. As we move to the side of the console, you'll find your VMUX diagnostic port and also an audible speaker and attachment point. Moving now to the dash area, the yellow placard on the forward section of the dash on the left is going to be the height of the vehicle, 10 feet 2 inches, length of the vehicle, 29 feet 1 inch, gross vehicle weight rating, 35,000 pounds. If you make any additions to this vehicle that may alter any of the height, length, or gross vehicle weight rating, please update this placard for your operator. As we move to the dash area, you'll find on the left-hand side the transmission volts and oil pressure. On the right, DEF and fuel, front and rear air, tachometer and speedometer. Diagnostic information will display in the tally lights throughout the dash area, and then also in the LED text information just above the speedometer and tachometer. Let's move just to the right of the dash area. We'll start first at the very top section with the filter minder. This is your engine air filter. Just down from this, you'll find the Allison transmission push button module, digital readout. Moving just to the right of this location, AM/FM radio weather band. Also, you'll find in this area regen information, mirror heat, diff lock. Moving to the right, pull to apply your system parking brake, and push to release. This is the yellow diamond. These are your rear spring brakes. Also to the right, you'll find a low range and high range switch. Moving further to the right, all-wheel drive, and also 12-volt access via USB and also barrel style. Let's move down where you'll find a cup holder and then also climate control for heat, air conditioning, and defrost. Moving now to the console area. Between the two seats, you're going to find first at the very top section, these are tally lights indicating information or trouble lights. Moving further down, you'll find emergency control lights. Further down, main pump and foam system, in addition with high idle and also scene lights. Moving further down, electric primer. Moving to the right, a digital readout on pump pressure. Water tank level indicator. Moving back up to the upper right, this is your electronic siren and PA speaker system. And then moving down further, this is the Pierce control module for pressure. Let's go ahead and take a look at some close-ups of the items we just talked about. First, let's start with the tally lights starting on the left-hand side. And then close up here of the switch panel. Then moving up to the siren module and pressure control module. We'll move down and take a look at the water level gauge indicator, pressure, and primer. You'll also find these red and white labels throughout the vehicle. They are indicating spare wiring. They will have the option number and then also the termination type. Please do not remove these until your maintenance team has had an opportunity to review. Moving further to the rear, you'll find an additional storage box for documents and resources. To the rear seat, you'll find a fold-down bench seat. Overhead, in the very front section of the cab, additional storage location pockets. Moving back to the exterior. On the rear cab steps is where you'll find the auto eject plug. This is a Shoreline inlet, 20 amp. When plugged into Shoreline power, the auto charge status will illuminate indicating battery status. There is also a D handle will gauge you access into this storage location. As we move to the door cab, you'll find easily accessible with a gloved hand. These are a keyed lock and also a grab handle right next to it. As we move into the cab, you'll find all of our warning and information placards on the door panel. As we move into the seat area, you'll find a bench seat in the lower portion. In the forward portion, facing the rear, you'll find 12-volt access via USB. As we move now to the pump panel area, just above the pump panel is your booster reel, free tension spool knob. Moving now to the pump panel area, where you'll find in the upper left-hand corner, these are the two master gauges, pump discharge and pump intake. Moving to the right, you'll find a water tank level indicator and a foam tank level indicator. Moving just above that, you'll find a warning placard regarding entanglement hazard. Because of the lines from the cross leg coming out, there is the possibility of entanglement. As we move further to the right, you'll find an audible speaker, a tally light indicating OK to pump. If you've proceeded everything in the cab properly, this light will be illuminating. Also, foam system instructions and pump hours. Moving further down, you'll find your pressure throttle governor located on the far left, and then to the right, you'll find your pressure controller in the gray module. As we move further to the right, you'll find the Husky foam system, their instructions for its operation on the panel itself, along with your vacuum and pressure test gauge ports. General view of the lower section of the pump panel. Let's start first with the number 1 Speedlay. It is foam capable. Moving just to the right, you'll find a real discharge. It is also water and foam capable. Electric primer. Moving further down, your tank refill and recirculating line along with tank to pump. Be advised, in is open, out is closed. Also some warning placards here regarding pressure hazard. Caps may be under pressure. Be cautious when opening. Large diameter pump inlet in the lower left-hand corner. Access panel here Located behind inside the access panel is where you'll find your foam valve. There are instructions here on the door panel for its operation. It is the yellow handle. Just as a reminder, only trained personnel should operate this piece of equipment, and that's only after proper training, and also a warning regarding not to mix different brands or consistencies of foam for the possibility of foam failure. Down in the lower right, you'll find a auxiliary inlet. It is a 2.5-inch female, locally controlled via ball valve. Also, your foam lever intake located on the lower right-hand side. As we move down to the very bottom, you'll find all of your color-coded and labeled discharge drains just under the running board. Let's move up to the vertical wall surface where you'll find your minimum operation maintenance schedule for 150, 200, and 250 psi. The associated RPM and also GPM are located on this placard. We do have a governed speed on the placard of 2340 while in pump mode. Moving now back out to the exterior, rear compartment bodies. We'll start at the very top section of the front of the body where you'll find a side-facing scene light. In the same preview, moving to the rear of the apparatus, you'll find an emergency warning light. All compartment doors are open now, adjustable shelving and LED lighting in each compartment along with ventilation. Just in front of the rear axle, you'll find additional storage. Also moving to the rear of the axle, you'll find additional storage. Moving down to the wheel, you'll find Michelin tires, steel wheel. As we move into the rear compartment, adjustable shelving and also LED lighting, ventilation. In the lower section, additional storage. This is directly behind the rear axle. Emergency warning light, side facing. Moving to the rear of the apparatus, you'll find mud flaps on the passenger and driver side. Moving now to the rear of the apparatus, we'll start at the very top section where you'll find storage location. As we move down, we'll cover a few warning placards in this area. First, starting at the very top with an entanglement hazard. Because of those lines coming from aloft, there is the possibility of entanglement. Just down from that, a warning regarding fall. When climbing on and off the vehicle, always face the vehicle. And then also a warning regarding fall injury. Never ride on the vehicle while it is in motion. Stop, turn, and reverse lights and an additional emergency warning light in the lower zone. License plate location. Just below this is the access for an additional step for gaining access. Let's go ahead and move back up to the very top section. Hose loads on both passenger and driver side. Moving now to the center compartment, adjustable shelf, LED lighting and ventilation. Moving now to the discharges in the very bottom section. Starting on the far left-hand side, you'll find a warning placard indicating pressure hazard. Also, driver rear discharge. This is a 2.5-inch discharge, locally controlled via the ball valve. As we move just to the right of this location, you'll find direct tank fill. Moving further to the right or passenger side, you'll find a discharge located here. Foam capable, locally controlled via the ball valve. Moving all the way to the very far right hand side, you'll find a backpack fill location here. And then as we move underneath, you'll find shackles on both right and left frame rail. Moving up to the very top, same configuration as the driver's side as you'll have on the passenger side for hose storage. Moving now into the D-handled compartment with diamond plate, you'll find long-handled tool storage and also ladder storage. Let's move around to the passenger side of the vehicle where you'll find in the lower zone an emergency warning light just to the forward section of the drop-down step. General view here of the full apparatus. Let's move around to the passenger side of the vehicle. Same configuration and layout as you have on the driver's side. Let's go ahead and cover those items here next. All compartment doors open, adjustable shelves in both of those compartments, in addition with LED lighting. The very top section rear, you'll find an emergency warning light. Moving forward to this location, you'll find a side-facing scene light. As we move to the very bottom section rear, you'll find an additional storage location right next to the emergency warning light. Same configuration once again as we have on the driver's side. Moving now to the rear portion of the axle, additional storage location in the body. As we move to the forward section of the axle, just in front of the rear tire, you'll find your diesel exhaust location. Extremely hot exhaust temperatures do exist. Forward of the axle, additional storage location in the body. Now moving to the pump panel area, you'll find your water strainer. Moving down from this location, you'll find your number 2 Speedlay foam capable. Further down, warning placard indicating pressure hazard, and then also your Darley pump placard. Reel rewind down in the lower portion for your booster line. At the very bottom section, you'll find the passenger side auxiliary inlet, 2.5-inch locally controlled via ball valve female inlet. As we move under the truck, you'll find the passenger side auxiliary inlet. Directly behind this valve is where you'll find your drain location for your relief valve. Full view here of the cab section. Moving into the door handle at the rear cab, keyed lock, grab handle. Just moving inside, you'll find all of our safety and warning placard information on the door panel. Moving inside the cab, additional warning placard information along with step lights in the lower section of the diamond plated area. As we move to the compartments here, 2 D handles gain you access into this space. Back now to the upper portion of the cab where you'll find a down-facing mirror. Flat mirror and convex mirror on the A-pillar. Moving now to the door panel, a fixed door panel, safety and warning placard information, grab handles, door lock, and manual window controls. LED lights under the bottom section of the cab for your cab steps. Moving inside, you'll find a grab handle at the seat level. As we move into the interior section of the cab, seat control both on the front section and lower left-hand side of the air ride seat. Vehicle data recorder on the front dash area. Moving to the A-pillar, a grab handle for gaining access in and out of the cab. Overhead, you'll find pockets and also the visor for storage. Moving now to the forward fender area where you'll find the release mechanism for gaining access into the hood latch system. Turn indicator on the right side of the fender. Moving toward the front section of the vehicle toward the bumper, you'll find your headlight structure housing low and high beam headlights, turn indicator, and marker light. Onto the bumper extension, you'll find on the right-hand side an open close just in the cutout section of the ball valve area. This is a swivel discharge. As we move to the front bumper section, you'll find this is the foam capable discharge. Onto the angled side of the front bumper, you'll find the cutout section for your electronic siren, and then also side-facing emergency warning light. Moving toward the top section, D-handle gains you access into this space with a cutout for your hose. Dry deck material inside this area. Full view of the apparatus. Congratulations, Summit Fire Medical District, Arizona, on your new Pierce Fire apparatus, job number 38641. If you have any questions regarding your vehicle, please contact your Hughes Fire Equipment sales representative. Thank you and congratulations.